Have you ever wondered, how come in Japan you see cars from the 90s? A Skyline R32, a Honda Civic EEG driving around the streets as if they just rolled off the lot? It's not magic, nor is it that their cars are made of some mystical metal forged on Mount Fuji. It's something much deeper, a philosophy, a discipline that allows them to push their machines to mileage numbers that seem like science fiction to us. 1,000,000 kilometers, imagine that. That's like going to the moon and back, and you'd still have enough left to drive around the world a few times. Today, we're going to uncover that mystery, because I found out why Japanese people can drive the same car for 30 years and have it feel like new. We're not talking about just one miraculous trick, but a whole arsenal. There are 13 secret techniques, 13 commandments of car care, Toyota, Corolla, Volkswagen, Golf, Ford, Mustang. Forget everything you thought you knew about maintenance. This isn't just taking your car to the shop when something sounds weird. It's a ritual, a connection between the driver and their machine, a proactive approach that anticipates problems before they happen. We're going to break down each of these methods step by step, so you too can apply them and turn your car into a road legend. The best part about all this is that it doesn't matter if you drive an imported Japanese sports car, a luxury German sedan, or an American pickup truck. These methods are universal. They work because they are based on the fundamental principles of mechanical engineering, not specific brand tricks. They are principles of respect for the machine. From the engine to the last bolt on the chassis, it needs attention and care to work in perfect harmony. So get ready, because we're going to dive into the wisdom of engineers and mechanics who have perfected the art of making cars last forever. And just so you know I'm not kidding, method number 1, the one we're about to see right now, is something you can start applying today without spending a single penny. And I guarantee that in 6 months you'll notice a huge difference in how your engine feels and sounds. But heads up, stay until the end, because even though all these tips are pure gold, the last one is, without a doubt, the master key, the most important secret that ties everything else together, that will truly secure your place in the 1,000,000-kilometer club. So buckle up, because this journey is just beginning. Alright, here's the first gem, the first rule of the Japanese car creed: gradual warm-up. Think of your engine like a top athlete. Would you jump out of bed and immediately sprint 100 meters? Of course not. You'd pull something. Well, the exact same thing happens to your engine. When the car has been sitting for hours, all the oil, which is the blood that lubricates its vital parts, has drained down to the oil pan, at the very bottom. Starting the engine cold and speeding off is like asking that athlete to run without blood in their muscles. It's a recipe for disaster, for premature wear of pistons, cylinders, and bearings. The Japanese ritual is simple but incredibly effective. When you start the car, don't touch the gas pedal. Just let the engine wake up on its own and settle into its idle for at least 30 to 60 seconds. In that short time, the oil pump has already started its work, sending that vital fluid to every corner of the engine, creating a protective film between the metal parts that are about to move at thousands of revolutions per minute. You don't need to wait for the temperature needle to reach the middle. That's an old myth. You just need to give it that first minute of life so that the entire lubrication system gets going and is ready for action. Once that minute has passed and the engine's RPMs have dropped a bit, it's time to start moving, but gently. The first 5 to 10 minutes of driving are crucial. The Japanese treat this phase with almost ceremonial respect. They drive with exquisite smoothness, avoiding sudden accelerations and keeping the revolutions below 2,500 or 3,000 RPM. Why? Because not only does the engine oil need to warm up, but also the transmission oil, the differential, and all other vehicle fluids. Forcing the car at this stage creates unnecessary stress on all mechanical components, which haven't yet reached their optimal operating temperature. This practice not only protects the engine, but the entire drivetrain. Imagine cold metal contracting and expanding. If you subject it to high loads prematurely, you're creating micro cracks and wear that, though invisible at first, builds up day after day. It's the difference between an engine that reaches 500,000 kilometers begging for mercy and one that crosses 1,000,000 kilometers with the smoothness of day one. This simple change of habit, this ritual of gently waking the beast, is the foundation upon which a vehicle's longevity is built. It's the first and most fundamental step to joining the 1,000,000-kilometer club. Let's move on to the second secret, which has to do with the lifeblood of your engine, the oil. Most of us blindly follow the manufacturer's recommendation to change the oil every 10,000 kilometers, 15,000 kilometers. But the Japanese know that's a dangerously simple way of looking at it. It's not the same. Open road, steady speed, engine at its best temperature. As terrible traffic, stops and starts, short trips, engine barely warms up, oil mixed with fuel and moisture. The actual use of the car is the deciding factor. That's why they adjust the oil change frequency on the fly. If you mainly drive in the city, with lots of short trips, they cut the interval in half. Even more, 5,000 kilometers, 7,500 kilometers. Because in those conditions, the oil breaks down much faster. It doesn't get hot enough to evaporate contaminants and moisture, which leads to sludge and acid forming. That slowly corrode the engine's internal parts. Ignoring this is like only counting calories in your diet. The long-term result is a disaster. How do you know the exact right time without guessing? This is where the drop test comes in, a homemade trick used by old-school mechanics in Japan. With the engine warm, you pull out the oil dipstick, clean it, and let a single drop fall onto absorbent paper or white cardboard. Let it dry for a couple of hours, and then observe. Good oil, uniform spot, light color, clear halo. Degraded oil, dark spot in the center, visible soot particles, no clean halo. This means it has lost its cleaning and lubricating properties. This simple test gives you an instant X-ray of your lubricant's health, much more accurate than just the odometer. It allows you to make an informed decision based on the actual condition of the oil. Combining this with the type of driving you do is the Japanese formula for ensuring protection. It's not about spending more money, it's about spending it smarter. Investing in the life of your engine and ensuring that every explosion inside the cylinders happens with a perfect, clean, and protective layer of lubrication. Alright, so we've talked about warming up your engine and changing the oil, but if you think that's all it takes to be a Japanese car care master, you're just getting started, buddy. Let's talk about the lifeblood of your machine. And no, I'm not just talking about oil. Your car is a complex beast, pumping all sorts of different fluids to keep itself alive and kicking. Think of it like your own body. You need water, sure, but that's not the only thing keeping you going. The Japanese philosophy of car maintenance is all about holistic health, a complete checkup. This brings us to the sacred weekly ritual, the check of the 5 essential fluids. Visual. Here's where they live under the hood. It's a simple 5-minute habit that can mean the difference between a car that hits 1,000,000 kilometers and one that ends up as a fancy lawn ornament. Engine oil, coolant, antifreeze, brake fluid, power steering fluid, windshield washer fluid. The beauty of this Japanese trick is its simplicity and consistency. It's not about being a master mechanic with a garage full of snap-on tools. It's about being an observant owner. Pop the hood once a week, maybe Saturday morning. Pull the oil dipstick, check the level, wipe it clean. Glance at the translucent coolant reservoir. Men to max lines. Quick look at brake fluid and power steering fluid. Top up the washer fluid if it's low. That's it. You're building a relationship with your car. Learn its normal state so you spot small changes immediately. This regular checkup is your early warning system. A consistent drop in any fluid is a sign of a leak. Catch it early and it's cheap. Slow coolant leak, overheating engine, warped cylinder head, huge repair bills. A brake fluid leak? Well, the consequences there are even scarier. This weekly ritual, Shukan no Tenkin, is the ultimate form of preventative medicine for your car. It's the discipline and attention to detail that separates a good car owner from a great one, and it's a cornerstone of how Japanese drivers keep their machines running seemingly forever. Okay, so your car's fluids are all in check, it's hydrated and happy. But what about breathing? Just like you, your engine needs to inhale clean fresh air to perform at its best. Over time, the intake system gets gunked up. Oil vapor from the crankcase ventilation system, carbon deposits, road grime sneaking past the air filter. Imagine trying to run a marathon while breathing through a dirty straw. That's your engine. The buildup restricts airflow. It messes with the air-fuel mixture. It robs power and efficiency. You might not notice until the car feels sluggish and tired. Enter the Japanese philosophy, proactive cleaning. They don't wait for a check engine light. They tackle problems before they become problems. Clean the entire intake every 40,000 kilometers or so. Not just swapping the air filter. A deep clean, throttle body, intake manifold, intake valves. These are the lungs and windpipe of your engine. Keep them clear. A detox for the car. Flush out the junk so it can breathe. Full manifold removal is most thorough, but labor-intensive. More common, specialized intake system cleaners. Aerosol cleaners sprayed into the intake while the engine runs. Solvents travel through throttle body and manifold, dissolving carbon and varnish. Chemical power wash for the engine's insides. Gunk breaks down, burns in the combustion chamber, exits the exhaust, restores horsepower and improves fuel economy. This service is a game changer. Smoother idle, sharper throttle response, a return of that like-new pep, immediate tangible results. Make it regular to prevent slow degradation. Ensures the correct air-fuel ratio is delivered, not a choked mixture. Keep the engine feeling young. 100,000, 500,000 kilometers and beyond. It's all about letting it breathe. We've covered fluids and air. So what's the third part? You guessed it. Fuel. A lot of people get really focused on octane. They put 98 in a Corolla, thinking it'll turn into a Supra. It won't. Use the octane the maker suggests, but the Japanese secret is being consistent. Think of it like a diet. One fancy meal a month won't fix eating junk food every day. Your engine wants things to be steady. Gas quality changes from one station to another, different additive mixes, changes in ethanol, possible dirt in it. All of that messes up the fuel system. Find a gas station you trust that's busy and stick with it. Busy station means the fuel gets replaced quickly, less chance of old gas. When you fill up consistently, your car's computer gets used to that mix. The result? A steady burn in the engine. That's what helps it last a long time. If your car sits a lot, like a weekend car or if you're going on a long vacation, use a stabilizer. That's where fuel stabilizer comes in. Gas starts to go bad in 30 days. It forms sticky stuff and varnish that clogs up injectors, pumps, and carburetor passages. It's like poison. Stabilizer stops the gas from breaking down, keeping it fresh for months, even up to a year. For classic cars or cars that aren't used much, it's a must-have. Being careful about how you fill up really pays off. Consistent fuel keeps your injectors spraying well. It stops gunk from building up on intake valves and pistons, keeping your engine strong and powerful. A stabilizer helps you avoid expensive repairs. It's a cheap habit that protects expensive parts. It's not about high octane as much as it is about being consistent over hundreds of thousands of miles. Boom! Welcome back, motorheads. Let's talk about something that's like the Swiss watch inside your engine, the belts and tensioners. Imagine your engine is a symphony orchestra. The timing belt is the conductor. It makes sure the pistons go up and that the valves open and close in perfect time. A dance of milliseconds that creates power. If the belt breaks, disaster. Internal crash, engine destroyed, huge bill. Boom! Japanese engineers treat this part with the utmost respect. They don't wait for visible signs of wear. They use Kaizen, better safe than sorry. Replacing the belt and tensioners early costs a tiny bit compared to a new engine. It's like getting a shot. Rule of thumb, every 80,000 kilometers. Why? The belt is tough rubber with fibers and takes a lot of stress. It goes through big changes in heat, and it spins thousands of times a minute. It might look fine on the outside, but it's wearing down inside. The tensioners also suffer. Springs get tired, bearings get worn out. Just changing the belt isn't enough. So mark this on your calendar. When your odometer gets close to that magic number, don't think twice. Go to your trusted mechanic and ask for the full kit. Timing belt, tensioner pulleys, accessory belt, the one that runs the alternator, the water pump, and everything else that comes in the kit. It's an investment in peace of mind and the long life of your machine. It's the difference between enjoying the road for hundreds of thousands more kilometers or being stuck on the side of the road with an engine that sounds like a toolbox falling down the stairs. More horsepower, fewer headaches. Alright team, we've talked about the guts of the engine, but now we're going to get down to the ground, to the only point of contact between your car and the asphalt, your tires. You can have the most powerful engine in the world, the most beastly brakes, the most finely tuned suspension. But if your tires aren't in top condition, it's like trying to run a marathon in flip-flops. You won't get very far. The maintenance masters in Japan know that tires are a crucial active safety system. Braking, cornering grip, fuel consumption, ride comfort. That's why checking them is almost a sacred ritual that they don't take lightly. The first rule is checking the pressure, and no, just kicking it and saying it seems fine won't do. You need a good quality pressure gauge and use it at least once a week, always with cold tires before you start driving or after driving less than 2 kilometers. Why cold? Because when you drive, the air inside heats up and expands, giving you a false reading. Incorrect pressure is the silent enemy. Too little pressure causes the tire sidewalls to flex too much, overheat, and wear unevenly on the edges. Too much pressure reduces the contact patch, wears down the center of the tread, and makes the car bounce like a basketball, losing grip. The second step is visual inspection and rotation. Run your hand over the tread while checking the pressure. Look for cuts, dents, nails, or any foreign objects stuck in it. Check the sidewalls for bulges or bumps, a sign of internal damage and a risk of blowout. Pro-Japanese rotation, every 10,000, 15,000 kilometers depending on the manufacturer. Because front and rear tires wear differently, rotating them achieves even wear on all four wheels and extends their lifespan. Let's talk about wear. The tread depth evacuates water and maintains grip in wet conditions. Don't wait for the legal limit. Use a coin or the indicators on the tire. If it's close to 2 mm, change them. A worn tire in the rain invites aquaplaning and losing control. Taking care of your tires is taking care of lives. It's the foundation for 1 million safe kilometers. Hit the gas but with good grip. Phew, it's hot. I'm not talking about summer, but about the intense heat in your engine. Combustion means controlled explosions, and that makes a lot of heat. Without a system to get rid of the heat, the engine would break down. Here comes the hero, the cooling system. Japanese mechanics really respect it. Engine at the right temperature equals good performance and a long life. Overheating can be a disaster. Step 1, check it often with your eyes. Open the hood and look at the overflow tank. Is the level between min and max? Look at the color of the liquid, green, pink, blue, or whatever color your car maker says. If it looks cloudy, rusty, or has bits floating in it, watch out. That means it's losing its rust protection. It can block pipes and cause hot spots. JDM style. Let's go deeper. When the engine is cold, open the radiator cap. Make sure it's full to the top. Check and tighten the main hoses. They should feel firm but still bend a little. If they're hard as a rock, cracked or soft and squishy, replace them. A burst hose can empty the system in seconds. A 30-second check that saves you thousands of dollars. Final secret. Flush and full change. Don't just top it off. Every 2 years or every 40,000 kilometers. Drain the whole system. Clean it with a special product if needed. Fill it with new good quality coolant. Stick to the 50/50ths mix with distilled water. And get the air out of the system. Bubbles make steam pockets. That causes hot spots in certain areas. A well-kept cooling system means your engine is happy, ready to drive for miles without breaking a sweat. Alright, let's talk about the unsung hero of your car's electrical system, the spark of life itself, the battery. You might think it's just a box that starts the car, but oh no, my friend, it's so much more. This little powerhouse is the heart that pumps electrons through the veins of your ride, powering everything, the stereo, the car's complex computers. But this heart can get sick, it can get clogged arteries, and in the car world, that clogging is called corrosion. It's that nasty, crusty, blue-green gunk that builds up on your battery terminals, the enemy. The Japanese philosophy of Kaizen, continuous improvement, applies to every connection, and this one is critical. So why does this gunk even show up? It's basically a chemical reaction. Your battery vents tiny amounts of acidic gas, and when that gas meets the metal terminals and the moisture in the air, bam! You get a crusty science experiment happening right under your hood. This corrosion is like cholesterol for your car's electrical system. It's a terrible insulator that blocks the flow of electricity, making it harder for your alternator to charge the battery and harder for the battery to deliver that crucial starting jolt to the starter motor. This can lead to slow starts, flickering lights, and even leave you stranded. A true master of JDM-style maintenance knows that a clean connection is a happy connection. Now, you might be thinking, James, how often do I need to worry about this? Well, the Japanese approach isn't about waiting for a problem, it's about preventing it. You don't wait for the check engine light to tell you something's wrong. You pop the hood and look. Make it a habit. Every time you check your oil, give those battery terminals a quick glance. If you see even a hint of that white or bluish powder starting to form, it's time for a spa day for your battery. This isn't a 100,000 kilometer job, it's a whenever it needs it job. It's proactive, not reactive. It's about maintaining a perfect state of readiness, ensuring every component can perform at 110%. Cleaning them is super simple, but it's a game changer for reliability. Think of it like this. You wouldn't try to drink a thick milkshake through a clogged straw, right? So why would you force your car's electrical system to work through a crusty, corroded terminal? A clean, tight connection ensures maximum power transfer, which means less strain on your alternator, a longer life for your battery, and the peace of mind that when you turn that key, your car is going to roar to life every single time. It's one of the cheapest and easiest ways to show your car some love and keep it on the road to that 1 million kilometer goal. Pop-up headlights. If your engine is the heart of your car, then the air and fuel filters are its lungs and kidneys. They're the gatekeepers, the bouncers at the club, making sure only the good stuff gets in. The air filter stops dust, bugs, leaves, and all sorts of road gunk from getting sucked into your engine's delicate insides. The fuel filter does the same for your fuel, catching rust, dirt, and whatever nasty stuff might be lurking in the gas station's tank. The manufacturer might give you a recommended change interval, say, every 30,000 or 40,000 kilometers. But the Japanese way, the path to automotive immortality, says, that's a good suggestion, but we can do better. We're not aiming for average, we're aiming for 1,000,000 kilometers. Think about it. Where do you drive? Are you cruising on pristine highways, or are you battling dusty back roads and city traffic? The standard interval is for a standard driver, but if you live in a dusty area or a place with a lot of pollen, your air filter is working overtime, getting clogged up way faster than the manual predicts. A clogged air filter is like forcing your engine to breathe through a pillow. It suffocates, loses power, burns more fuel, and puts a massive strain on its internal components. Early replacement isn't wasting money. It's an investment in performance and longevity. More power babe comes from more air. And let's not forget the fuel filter. The quality of gasoline can vary wildly from one station to the next. One bad tank of gas can send a whole load of sediment and gunk toward your fuel system. The fuel filter is your last line of defense, protecting your high-pressure fuel pump and your precision fuel injectors. Those injectors have microscopic nozzles that can get clogged easier than a Los Angeles freeway at 5 p.m. A clogged injector leads to a misfiring cylinder, poor performance, and terrible fuel economy. By changing your fuel filter before the recommended interval, you're ensuring your engine is only drinking the cleanest, purest gasoline cocktail, allowing it to deliver smooth, efficient power. This philosophy of early replacement is pure preventative brilliance. You're not waiting for the symptom of a rough idle or a check engine light to tell you a filter is clogged. You're swapping it out while it's still doing its job, but before it starts to struggle, it's like retiring a champion boxer while he's still on top, not after he's taken a few too many hits. For the cost of a couple of filters, which are usually super cheap and easy to change, you are protecting the most expensive parts of your car. It's the ultimate low-cost, high-reward maintenance hack on your quest to hit that 7-figure odometer reading. It's not just maintenance, it's a strategy. Alright team, we've talked a lot about the engine, the heart and soul of the car. But what about its skeleton and joints? I'm talking about all those small moving parts on the outside of your car that you use every day. Your door hinges, the hood latch, the trunk struts, the power windows. They are constantly moving and rubbing, exposed to rain, salt, dust, and grime. Without a little love, they start to complain, they squeak, they groan, they get stiff, and in the end, they can seize up or rust. This is where the Japanese obsession with detail shines. Where there's friction, there must be lubrication. In Japan, you'll see owners meticulously applying grease or using aerosol lubricant. A squeaky hinge isn't just annoying, it's metal wearing down. A stiff hood latch is corrosion building up. Proactive lubrication prevents that wear. Think of it as automotive yoga. Every few months or after bad weather, grab some white lithium grease or a good aerosol lubricant and apply it to all the pivots. Open the doors and spray the hinges and check straps. Open the hood and spray the latch and pivots. Do the same with the trunk. Don't forget the fuel filler door hinge. 5 minutes that do more than just stop noises. They create a barrier that repels water and slows down rust. It's not just to make the car feel newer, it's to preserve the vehicle's integrity. A smooth door puts less stress on handles, latches, and the chassis. A hood that opens easily is safer. This holistic approach separates cars that retire at 150,000 kilometers from those that pass 1,000,000. It's the little things that add up. Number 12. And this one goes beyond mechanics and dives deep into the philosophy of driving. The Japanese, masters of efficiency and longevity, know that the way you drive your car has a direct, massive impact on how long it will last. Forget feeling like Toretto at every traffic light. The key here is smoothness. Every time you floor the accelerator, you're putting your engine, transmission, and drivetrain under monumental stress. It's like asking a marathon runner to do a 100-meter sprint every 2 minutes. Look at this. Harsh versus smooth. The stress on the engine and transmission. The trick is to think of driving as a dance, not a fight. Anticipate traffic, look beyond the car in front of you. If you see the traffic light in the distance turn red, why accelerate? Just lift your foot off the accelerator and let the car coast. This technique, known as coasting, not only saves your brakes, it drastically reduces fuel consumption and minimizes stress on the entire transmission system. It's a mindset shift that transforms your right foot from an on-off switch to a delicate precision instrument. Now let's talk about brakes. Braking hard is the #1 enemy of your discs, pads, and brake fluid. Every violent brake generates an immense amount of heat, which can warp the discs, crystallize the pads, and degrade the brake fluid. In Japan, driving culture values fluidity. Maintaining a safe distance from the vehicle ahead gives you the time and space to react progressively. Instead of a panic stomp, you apply smooth and constant pressure on the pedal, stopping the car in a controlled and elegant way. This not only extends the life of your brake system by thousands of miles, but it also makes the journey much more comfortable for you and your passengers. So the next time you get in your ride, channel your inner Takumi. You don't need to go slow, you just need to be smooth. Accelerate progressively, feel the car gain speed without forcing it. Keep your eyes on the road, anticipate traffic moves, and use inertia to your advantage. Brake with the same delicacy. This philosophy will not only make your car love you and last much longer, but it will also make you a safer, more efficient, and honestly, a much more zen driver. It's the best kept secret for every component of your car, from the engine to the tires, to reach that dream million miles. Pure wisdom on wheels. We've reached tip number 13, and this is the one that ties everything we've talked about together. It's the sacred ritual that makes sure nothing slips through the cracks. Think of it like your car's annual physical, but a little more often. The Japanese are famous for their mandatory vehicle inspection system, the Shaken, which is incredibly strict. But you don't have to wait for the government to tell you to give your car the love it deserves. Visual. Infographic. Key points to check in a 10,000 kilometers inspection: chassis, lights, underbody, suspension, brakes. The discipline of doing a thorough general inspection every 10,000 kilometers is key. This goes way beyond just checking oil levels. It's a head-to-toe examination of your vehicle's health. For this inspection, you're going to put on your detective hat. Start with the outside. Check each panel for signs of early rust. Check the underbody. Check the wheel wells. A small spot of rust today can be a giant hole in a year if you don't take care of it. Check all the lights, headlights, tail lights, turn signals, brake lights. A burned out bulb isn't just illegal, it's dangerous. Next, crouch down and take a look under the car. Look for any signs of leaks. Do you see stains on your garage floor? Identify the color. Black is oil, green or pink is coolant, red could be transmission fluid. Any leak is a red flag that needs immediate attention. Now let's get more technical. With the car safely on jack stands, check the suspension. Look for leaky shock absorbers. Look for cracked or broken bushings. Look for any excessive play in the ball joints. Move the wheels with your hands to feel for any looseness in the bearings. Check the entire exhaust system, looking for holes or severe rust. Take a look at the brake pads through the wheels. Take a look at the brake rotors through the wheels. Is there enough material left on the pads? Do the rotors look smooth, or do they have deep grooves? This is the time to spot problems before they turn into catastrophic and costly failures. Finally, this inspection is the perfect opportunity to take stock. Check your maintenance logbook. When was the last oil change? When were the filters last changed? When were the belts last changed? Are you up to date with the plan you've set for yourself? This 10,000 kilometer checkup isn't just about finding problems, it's about reaffirming your commitment to taking care of your car. It's the discipline that separates those who simply use their car from those who truly care for it. By adopting this practice, you're making sure that every system works in harmony, preventing chain breakdowns, and ensuring that your machine is in optimal condition to eat up mile after mile without complaining. It's the final seal of the maintenance master. And there you have it. 13 tricks, 13 secrets directly from the land of the rising sun to turn your car into a legend of the road, a machine able to reach 1,000,000 kilometers. From how you warm it up in the morning to how gently you treat the pedals, every little detail counts. Taking care of your car isn't a chore, it's a relationship. Communication, attention, preventive maintenance are the key to long-term success. Now, the most important question of the day isn't for me, it's for you. After seeing all this, which of these tips will you apply to your car first? I want to read it. Leave it down here in the comments. If this video has opened your eyes, if it has given you even one idea to better care for your four-wheeled companion, then my work here is done. Smash that like button. Share with a friend, family member, or colleague. Knowledge is power, and it saves money and brings years of happy driving. Help me create a community of responsible owners. Wait, don't go yet. Subscribe and hit the bell. Because next week, we're going to bust a huge myth. Tests data science, why the old belief of changing your oil every 5,000 kilometers could in fact be harming your engine and needlessly emptying your wallet. It's a video that I promise you won't want to miss for anything in the world. Subscribe so you don't miss out. It's been a pleasure sharing these secrets with you. Remember, your car is an extension of you. Treat it with respect and care. It will give you back years of faithful service and unforgettable adventures. Apply what you've learned today, stay curious, and never stop learning. Thank you for joining me on this journey. My name is Manuel Lara, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time.